I don't really need to talk. I just do what I do. I'm not a talker like that. I'm not a talker. I handle my business. That's what I need to do.
Anthony Joshua didn't hold back when responding to Jake Paul's call out in a live interview. He firmly stated that he is focused on his career and that he doesn't like to engage in trash talk, saying, "I don't think mental games can win a fight." Joshua made it clear that boxing is about skill, discipline, and experience, not just talk. His response showed confidence, proving he won't be rattled by Jake Paul's bold challenges.
Fight Anthony Joshua, exclusive.
When they drew, he would have fought Jake Paul. It was lined up, basically. A lot of people get mad when people say he's the face of boxing. These highly rated boxers want to fight Jake Paul.
Jake Paul has publicly called out Anthony Joshua, saying that he wants to fight him and that he will beat him. Despite acknowledging his own limits, Paul remains confident that he can take on Joshua. His call-out has caught the attention of fans and experts, with many questioning whether he truly understands the challenge he's asking for.
Good luck to him, man. Do your thing. I'm gonna do mine. He's gonna do his. What more can I say? I don't really need to talk. I just do what I do. I'm not a talker like that. I'm not a talker. I handle my business. That's what I need to know. You tell me in America what type of vim do I need to bring? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this and that and that and this. Trust me, I'm from the UK. We stand on our business. I'm standing on my business. I'm gonna handle mine. I've never seen someone win a fight via mental games. Like the way you win a fight is by punching someone more times or punching someone harder than the other person. So it's here nor there, innit?
Jake Paul has given many boxers their biggest paydays, but he has also been disrespectful towards Anthony Joshua. Paul has claimed that Joshua has no chin and no skills, despite Joshua being a former heavyweight champion who has fought some of the biggest names in boxing. Many see this as Paul's attempt to get under Joshua's skin and promote the fight.
Oh, my boundaries. I want to fight Anthony Joshua, exclusive, because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's ass.
He just got knocked out, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have a chin, and he has no skill, and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends, all this shit, but I want to fight you.
One of the biggest criticisms against Jake Paul's call-out of Anthony Joshua is that Paul has already lost to Tommy Fury. If he couldn't beat a relatively inexperienced boxer like Fury, how can he expect to take on a world-class fighter like Joshua? This has led to significant controversy, with many boxing fans questioning whether Paul is serious or just chasing attention.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua, exclusive, because I know that I will.
I'm so sorry for my English, but I have to. See, Jake Paul does lots of good things. He has a camp for kids where he, I guess, gives training and coaching and clubs and environment for kids in Puerto Rico. He helped lots of boxers to get the bigger purse than they deserve. He has done some good things, and you are kind of trying to be on his side, but then he says something like that. Like you almost are on his side, and then he says, I want to fight Anthony Joshua and Canelo at the same night or whatever. Jake, fighting Anthony Joshua and Canelo is not fighting Tyron Woodley or 60 years old Mike Tyson with Alzheimer's. Anthony Joshua is able to literally kill you. No doubt. If his mission is to kill you on the ring, he will kill you. You lost against Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury won against you. What Anthony Joshua? What Canelo, my friend? Canelo, you would need the liver replacement after Canelo fight. I promise you. I don't know. So stop doing that shit. Do the good things you are doing, and we'll be on your side. Just stop saying crazy shit like this.
Anthony Joshua would knock Jake Paul out in 5 seconds. Joshua has already faced one of the best fighters in boxing, Alexander Usyk. Usyk is widely regarded as one of the most technically skilled fighters in the sport and managed to defeat Joshua twice. Given Joshua's experience against such high-level opponents, it's hard to believe that Jake Paul, with his limited boxing background, could stand a chance. Unlike some traditional boxers who dismiss YouTube boxing, Anthony Joshua has taken a more balanced approach. He has stated that YouTube boxers have made more people interested in the sport. Since they bring their fan base into boxing, it helps the sport grow. Joshua acknowledges that fighters like Jake Paul have introduced boxing to younger fans who might not have watched before.
Once the belts were finally out of my possession, which I was expecting to win, it just kind of tore me apart. And that's raw emotion live on your screen. Obviously, looking back, could I have dealt with things better? Yeah, of course. But at the time, that wasn't the priority. It was just outpour of emotion.
There are so many athletes we're seeing across gymnastics, cricket, rugby and football that have taken time out of their sport to deal with their mental health before coming back in. Did you at any point in that period think, I need to take an extended break away from boxing before coming back in?
It wasn't the fact I needed to take a break. You know what it was? I actually watched a lot of like fighters, they've taken time out of the game for those reasons as well. And I think, okay, if they've done it, I should be doing it. But I got to look at myself as an individual. And what it is, I feel like if I take time out, I'm letting everyone catch up. And I want to be ahead of the game.
Anthony Joshua has responded to Jake Paul's challenge by saying that he is ready to fight anybody at any time. He told Eddie Hearn to make it known that he is not backing down. This shows that Joshua is confident and willing to fight Paul if the opportunity arises. It also shuts down any critics who might suggest that Joshua is avoiding the fight.
I want to ask you, what do you think of this trend at the moment of YouTubers entering the world of boxing? Because Jake Paul's about to fight Mike Tyson, isn't he?
Yes.
What do you think about this trend?
I personally think it's really good. I think that the boxing hardcores, like the boxing fanatics, they don't like it because it's like, why are they disrespecting our sport? There's an Olympic system that you have to go through, and once you're qualified there, then you go through to the professional ranks. Whereas someone with a profile can just come out of nowhere and fight one of the best guys. Let's say we divided this crowd in half, and you've got half of the people that are hardcore boxing fans and half of the people that love a certain person that's into YouTube.
Like a YouTuber, yeah.
But that person brings all of these people into boxing, which benefits everyone else that's involved.
Because some of them
the
might stay not just for that match. They might get into the sport.
And it's a tough game, so everyone viewing helps. So I think it's really good for people that need like some exposure.
What do you make of this YouTube for the boxing scene?
I'm telling you, it's good for boxing because it's showing people you can fight someone that is well-known, credible, can fight, marketable, without a championship and have that same effect early on in your career, and you can still get all the rewards anyway. So I think that they're showing guys, oh, hang on a minute, there's so much potential in boxing regardless of championships. And I think it's good because now people start taking more risks early on. These guys coming into the game are changing the landscape for the better, showcasing that if you have a business mind on, marketable, creative, content-driven, obviously talented, you can generate big business and do...
Jake Paul calling out Anthony Joshua, a two-time unified heavyweight champion, has shocked many in the boxing community. Observers find it astonishing that Paul, with his relatively limited experience, would make such bold claims about a fighter as accomplished as Joshua. While Paul has built a reputation for challenging big names, this is arguably his most ambitious call-out yet.
Because the world of media went mental this morning. Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul. Please put this to bed or light the fire. What's going on?
I mean, sorry. This is the first time I've spoken about the fight. To be honest, like, I look at it and I think Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua. I mean, look, for me, we'd do it for the banter. Do you know what I mean? Like, AJ would fight Jake Paul. He'd fight anyone, to be honest with you. And if Jake Paul wants to step up and fight Anthony Joshua, he'll need the relevant insurance. But, you know, the only thing that was disappointing was he says 2026. I mean, that's like calling someone out. That's like me saying, you know, LA Olympics for the surfing, 2028, I'll be there. Do you know what I mean? Do it in 2025 if you really want to do it. You're not going to get really much better at this stage. But I don't know, those two have spoken. I spoke to AJ this morning. He went, listen, of course, I'd fight. I mean, you know, if the question was asked to Jai, would you fight Jake Paul? And there was...
I wouldn't fight him, I'd bash him.
Yeah. But he might do it. He might just do it for, you know, just for doing it for the sake of it. But obviously we know, listen, Jake creates massive events, right? You know that's going to create like unbelievable viewership, and no disrespect to Jake Paul, it's a straightforward night's work. But, you know, I like this calling out of Canelo and all this. AJ it's another challenge up there. But, you know, if they're game, why not?
What did he say, AJ, to you about it?
He said, why not? I said, what do you want me to say when I'm asked about it? And he said, tell everyone I'll fight anyone, anytime. It's not a problem.
Jake Paul's ambitions don't stop with Anthony Joshua. He has also expressed interest in fighting MMA star Conor McGregor. Paul has claimed that his boxing skills are improving while suggesting that McGregor is declining with age. This is another example of Paul targeting big names to increase his visibility in combat sports.
Paul has just called Anthony Joshua out. Yes, Anthony Joshua, AJ, the two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. This brother called this man out. Oh my God. Now, in a recent clip on Jake Paul's podcast, I think, he basically said that he will beat Anthony Joshua's ass and he has no skill, no chin, and he's too stiff for him. He also apologized to Anthony, saying, Anthony, I'm sorry, we're friends, but I know I can beat your ass. This guy is tapped in the head. Then again, he almost got a fight with Tank. If Tank beat Lamont Roach when they drew, he would have fought Jake Paul. It was lined up, basically. A lot of people get mad when people say he's the face of boxing. These highly rated boxers want to fight Jake Paul. So, I don't know what to say, honestly. But one thing for sure, AJ will never fight. AJ is too classy for that. Way too classy. He respects the sport of boxing too much to fight this guy. Absolute plonker. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And make sure you follow for the most up-to-date and sharpest boxing news and content.
Jake Paul has also shown interest in fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank recently fought Lamont Roach and is currently free to take on new challenges. However, the weight difference is significant. Davis is a lightweight, while Paul is much heavier. If Paul fights Davis this year, he would have to drop weight, which could make it harder for him to move back up in weight class to fight Joshua in 2026.
I think he has to come back and fight, but he needs to win.
Will he fight you?
I don't think he will. I think my skill level is outgrowing his in boxing, and I have the height advantage. He can't beat me, and I think he probably knows that. And time, he's only getting older and I'm only getting better.
Jake Paul has boldly declared himself as the only real fighter in boxing. He claims that he is the one who truly brings excitement and energy to the sport. While some fans agree that Paul has helped make boxing more popular, others see this as an exaggerated statement meant to hype himself up.
Tank Davis versus Jake Paul exhibition match was going to take place after the Lamont Roach fight until Tank drew with Roach, leading to a rematch. Now, I'm going to say the unpopular opinion here, but the size difference would have been way too much. I mean, even if Tank brought Jake down to 190 or 200 pounds, he would have still been way too big. I mean, no matter how good a lightweight is, they would have almost no chance against a cruiserweight or heavyweight ranked top 200 in his division. And I'm sure people are going to bring up Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, but Logan is just not a good boxer relative to Jake. You know, Jake's been training for a couple years, he's had over 10 pro fights, and Mayweather was also junior middleweight in this fight, not a lightweight like Tank. But that being said, I'm glad Tank and Jake isn't happening. You know, it would have been a fun spectacle, but I'm not the biggest fan of the exhibition stuff. And instead now Tank and Roach will be rematching in June. You know, the first fight did a little over 260,000 pay-per-view buys, which isn't bad in this market. Roach absolutely deserves a second fight, So I do think the rematch will do far more numbers. And as for Jake, I want to see him fight big-name boxers around his weight class. You know, the Tommy Fury rematch, for example. He's undefeated. The first fight did a little over 800,000 pay-per-view buys. He's around the same age range. So that's the fight I want to see, not the exhibitions. But let me know what you guys...
The realist in the game.
That's not glazing, bro. That's the problem is you're frail, bro. I told
but here's the thing.
I told Patrick Bet David yesterday, I am a fan of you. Nothing wrong with being a fan. I'm a fan of this.
It's okay to be
this
a fan
is his
of
favorite
people.
fighter. He said he'll whoop his ass. Yes, absolutely. He's a dog. You are a maggot, and you need to go.
I mean, this is I see, but you know what I will say is you said I'm what's wrong with the world because I was sitting here chirping a little bit.
No, because you just read comments and you make it your identity.
Hold on.
You read comments and you make it your identity.
And you
don't even have your own opinion.
I just got so far in your head with just a couple comments to the point where you got heated. You started all of a sudden you started like saying like David, I would never fight you. Like that was weird, bro. And it's because I
started that and he overheard it because I was.
I don't know.
Just giving him his flowers, bro. He's an awesome dude.
You're like the internet loser person that reads the. You probably think my fights are rigged. Do you think my fights are rigged? Like the rest of the world? Do you think I'm on steroids?
No, I'm not gonna say nothing. I don't think. No, look, I never thought your fights were rigged. I was at the Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah, see, you're an imbecile.
I'm kidding. It wasn't rigged. I know it wasn't rigged.
Who is the most power you've ever felt in a fight?
I would say Tommy Fury. It's the shots you don't see. So Tommy was a little tricky. Mike's punches I could see coming. He was strong, but he didn't land anything clean. So I honestly didn't feel Mike Tyson's full power, but that's good. I mean, you don't want to. So
I feel like he lost confidence second round. Like
yeah.
He stopped giving his all.
He just started surviving.
Basically, everything was ready to go. 1 yard line, signed LOI. Basically, Turkey hates me. Absolutely hates me. We heard through the back channels for multiple weeks because we've been negotiating since the Monday after the Tyson fight. So we were negotiating for 2 months straight.
That's a lot of time.
And the whole entire time, Turkey was doing everything in his power to strip the fight, try to not make it happen, calling Canelo, calling Eddie Reynoso, basically saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? To the point where he had to threaten Canelo to pull his 3-fight deal. You're not fighting Crawford. I'm not paying you any of this money. And he's basically paying him over $100 million for this random fight in May. And Canelo at some point is like, okay, you bought me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul is officially off. Here, I'll get out of the way so you can see the off. But this actually makes sense to me because the owner of Ring Magazine, Turki Al-Sheikh, he posted a very cryptic photo on Instagram about an hour ago, and the caption reads, "Don't mess with the lion. 4 fights for Canelo with Riyadh season, the deal is done. A lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinion of a sheep. Fear the lion, not the jungle. And look who the first comment is. Canelo, let's go, brother." This is one of the few times Canelo has publicly been on good terms with Turki Al-Sheikh. But boy, from the Terrence fight being off to now the Jake Paul fight being off, this has been a wild couple of last few days for the face of boxing. Wait, which one of these two is the face of boxing? I'm just kidding, it's Jake Paul, obviously. Just kidding, it's Canelo! But since it looks like Canelo is now under contract with Turki Al-Sheikh, the chances of Canelo ever fighting Jake Paul have lowered significantly. Because no offense to Jake Paul, from what I've heard, Turki Al-Sheikh doesn't want to associate himself with the kind of boxing that Jake Paul does. Any more updates that happen with this, I'll be sure to do my best to fill you in. As always, thanks for watching.